Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Howard's Horse Handicapping. This is Howard Kravitz. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I'm very excited about tonight's show, coming off the back of the most successful live stream we've ever had on the show last night. We have over 400 views already from last night's show in just the last 24 hours. We had 50, 60 people on live watching the show and chatting. Thank you so much for the support. I cannot do it without you. First thing, if you're new to the show, thanks for watching tonight. Please make sure you subscribe right there on the left side of the screen. And if you're watching live, please make sure on the right side of the screen you also type in, send comments and chats. Again, the show will not be the same without you putting in great chats, comments, questions, and commentary about tonight's show. And when you watch this video as a replay, please make sure you comment down below the video player. Let's get right into the show. I know it's a little bit late on the East Coast there. What a big day. The Kentucky Derby draw occurred this morning. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about the other half of the Derby field and my opinions and analysis on the top 10 horses by odds in this year's Kentucky Derby. First, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. What's coming up this week? So, of course, tonight we have our live stream covering the back half of the Derby profile. Tomorrow and Thursday, I have two fantastic shows for you. I really hope you can join me. Again, it will start at 8 o'clock, our normal time, 8 o'clock Eastern Central Time. Tomorrow, I will preview Kentucky Oaks Day. Details about strategy in the Kentucky Oaks and the late pick 5, including ABC and K-Man ticket construction. I have already, ladies and gentlemen, I've already handicapped the late pick 5. It is a fantastic sequence with some heavy favorites that I'm be trying to beat, ending in the Kentucky Oaks. Then on Thursday, we're going to preview Kentucky Derby Day. And let me tell you something, folks. I've seen the pre-entries for Saturday. Unbelievable card. It's not just about the Derby. The undercard stake races are absolutely outstanding. We'll talk about the Kentucky Derby betting strategy on that race, the two-day $2 pick 6, and the 50-cent late pick 5, including the ABC and K-Man ticket construction. Folks, I have a loaded live streams for you tomorrow, Wednesday, and on Thursday. We're going to go a good 90 minutes, chock full of my opinions and some excellent information for you so you can absolutely crush it this weekend. I see Jim has already joined the chat. Thank you very much, Jim. And yes, I do have a super opinion about the 8 bells because my girl, Super Sensational, is running on Friday. If you've been a fan of this show, you know I've talked about Super Sensational. 6-1, by the way, Jim. 6-1 morning line right now on Super Sensational in that race. So also I want to mention the Race Day blog. The Race Day blog, wow, we have a whole bunch of people, a lot of people have signed up for the Race Day blog. Thank you very much. I should have erased, just to let you know, we do have a winner in the $20 win bet for the Derby. It is Scott Voster. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Scott, if you watch this, I have contacted you through email. You should have received my email. But for some reason, if you didn't receive my email, Scott Voster is the winner of the $20 win bet on the Derby. I look forward to seeing what horse he is going to bet to have a chance to win free money. But again, if you want to be a part of my Race Day blog, please send me the email. You can see the information on the screen, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com, and type in Race Day blog. You must be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. The email address will be confidential. It's a list. No one will be sending that list. I'm not sending that list out to advertisers or anything else. You're not getting any crazy spam messages or anything because you've signed up. I'll be sending you, starting this Friday, updated information on our sequences after scratches, upgrades and downgrades on horses I like and don't like based on race day scratches. And also, I'll give you some picks from earlier in the card that I don't talk about on my show, and possibly also spot plays from throughout the country. Please join me. It is free information, the HHH Race Day blog. Highly recommend if you've not done so already, please email me so you can get on that list. So let's talk about the big news of the day before we get into my opinions of the top 10 horses. The Derby Draw. Derby Draw happened this morning at Churchill Downs. I wouldn't say anything of any, real surprise came out. I shouldn't say surprise, but I wouldn't say anything came out of there that was shocking other than the rail horse. A lot of people like the horse that is now in the one hole. What do? Let's take a look. There are the post positions for Kentucky Derby 147. I'm sure you either watched the show this morning, you already know. Known Agenda, a horse that frankly I really was going to be playing against. I'm now even playing against Known Agenda even more. We'll talk about him. Gets the rail. However, as I mentioned on the show last night, the rail is not as bad as it used to be because the rail is further out. The one hole is now further out from the rail. You see a lot of bombs on the inside there. I really think the top choices, other than Known Agenda, got some very good post positions. You see Mandaloon, Medina Spirit, Hot Rod Charlie, Midnight Bourbon, all getting very nice posts there in the middle of the field. And Essential Quality, the 2-1 favorite, a little bit low in the morning line, in my opinion. But after Mattress Mac puts his $2 to $4 million on that race or on that horse, who knows what he's going to go off at? You see Rock Your World, a horse I'll talk about today and Thursday, got a very nice, cozy outside post in the 15 slot. And then you see Highly Motivated, etc., Soup and Sandwich on the outside. So those were the post positions this morning. Obviously, I'll be talking about how the post positions affect the race. I'm really going to talk about that a lot more on Thursday when I give you a detailed handicapping of my picks and my opinions on the Kentucky Derby race itself. Also, I know there were many of you that are probably watching tonight right now or going to watch a replay are fans of the In the Money Media podcast, and I am as well. You might have seen, some of you were actually on the Matt Bernier show today. Your video podcast came out. My name was mentioned, by the way. Matt said that my video is going to be up. Oh boy, I've got a bone to pick. Where was my video? They said my name. Matt said my name would be, I'd be on the video. What happened? I wasn't on the show. I tweeted Matt. I said, what happened there? I'll tell you what's going on. It's a conspiracy. They are worried. The In the Money Media people, they are worried about the popularity of the HHH live streams. Look out. Listen, I'm just kidding. I love those guys. I'm sure it was just an oversight. But here's what I've done for you, folks. I know some of you might be interested if you watch the show. Where was the live stream? Well, guess what? I've got the live stream for you. So we're going to just take a quick listen. On the cutting room floor, Paul throwing some shade out there. Wow. You know what, Paul? I'm in charge of this show, and I'm going to show you my video. So here's very quickly, in case you're wondering, this is the 1 minute and 15-second video that I sent to Matt Bernier that was supposed to be on the Matt Bernier show today. For some reason, it wasn't. Again, I'm sure it's just an oversight. I'm just joking about that other stuff. But here is my video clip that I produced for the Matt Bernier show.
Hello, Matt and horse racing fans. This is Howard from Chicago with my picks for the Kentucky Derby. First, most likely winner. When everyone zigs, I like to zag. Rock Your World for John Sadler, Joel Rosario, undefeated, won the San Antonio Derby with a 100 buyer, can win on the lead, can win just off the lead. He's very talented. He's versatile. Essential quality does not have to win this race. Let's go with the value play. Matt, I completely agree with you. Mandaloon for Brad Cox. Florent Giroux, 3 for 5. Ran a bit of a clunker last time at the fairgrounds, but he's talented. He can win just off the lead, and he's been working great at Churchill Downs, and he's won there as well. My long shot play. Trivia question, folks. Who is the only Derby horse sired by a Derby winner in this race? That's right. Obesos, sired by Orb. Greg Foley, Marcelino Pedroza has closed well in paceless races. Who is the last horse to cross the finish line first in the Kentucky Derby as a closer? That's right. Orb. Good luck in Derby 147.
All right, so there you go. That was my clip that I sent to Matt. It might show up later on Twitter or some other place. I haven't had my graphics up. I worked on it. Matt, if you watch the show, I know you're a fan. What happened? Anyway, listen, I love those guys. Matt does a great job. He's really good. So those were my picks. I see Mark, I believe the Mchar, I think that's Mark if I recall, is on the show. Mark thinks that Highly Motivated will be on Rock Your World's hip at the start. Baffert, I think, will send Medina Spirit and try to not let Rock Your World lead. I don't want to give my pace scenario away right now to you, Mark, and viewers. I'm going to talk on Thursday in detail. I already have a race flow set up in my mind on how I think the race is going to develop. And Mark, I think you're on to something. We'll talk about that coming up on the Thursday show. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that takes care of all of the housekeeping. I'm assuming you guys see me on the screen. I'm a little bit concerned because I'm watching something on my YouTube channel. If you guys are hearing me right now, if you see me, there we go. I'm sorry. I might have had a little bit of a delay on my own screen. I apologize. Everything seems to be just fine. So that was my clip that I sent to Matt Bernier. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the 10 top horses by odds. Actually, I wanted to show you one more thing if I could. Hold on one second as I get this set up here. Hold on one moment. I want to show you some current odds. I think I have that ready for you. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, so these are pretty current odds right now for the Kentucky Derby. Now, Circa is Vegas. William Hill, of course, is Vegas. Global and Odds Checker are overseas. Just to let you know. So this was as of yesterday. This was before the post position draw. Just to let you know, this was before the post positions. You can see Essential Quality somewhere around 3-1. Of course, this is without the money coming in from Jim McIngvale, Mattress Mac. You see after that, you've got Rock Your World. It's going to be around 5-1-ish, it looks like. Known Agenda, also about the same price. I'm expecting his odds to go up a little bit, though, based on the post position. And then you're going to have Highly Motivated and Hot Rod Charlie somewhere around the 8 to 12-1 range, with Mandaloon also somewhere around that, it looks like. So that's the way that it appears right now based on I won't say current odds, but those are pretty much the odds going on, or the expected odds that I think we can probably see come Derby Day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just pulling up my past performances, and we are going to go ahead and start now looking at the top 10 horses, and this is not in order, by the way. This is not in any particular order. Here are my opinions on the top 10 Derby horses by the odds. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So, the first horse that we are going to talk about, and I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger here, and I'm also going to put myself on screen here if we can. Alrighty, there we go. Just getting myself all set up. The first horse we're going to talk about is Essential Quality. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Essential Quality is obviously going to be the favorite. He is undefeated, 5 for 5, unblemished. And I don't know about you, but you ever say something and no one is around, and you wish that you wish people had heard it? That's sort of how I feel about this horse, because Essential Quality, when he broke his maiden, I swear that I was by myself. It was so impressive. He like weaved between horses. It was a Tappet who doesn't usually win first out, and I said to myself, "This is a Derby horse." Uh, there is absolutely nothing to knock on Essential Quality at all. Like I said, he's undefeated. He's won from behind. Last time in the Bluegrass, he was just sitting right off of Highly Motivated. He's honest. He's game. He's very good. He's a deserving favorite. However, here's the thing about Essential Quality, and it has to be said. His highest buyer is 97. I've been waiting all spring for some explosive move up by Essential Quality, and ladies and gentlemen, it has not happened yet. So he should be the favorite. Should he be a big favorite, in my opinion? Absolutely not. This is a horse I think you have to use Essential Quality in your horizontal bets. You know, your pick fours, pick fives, I think is a must use. He's probably a use in the vertical bets, but I have a feeling that there are going to be a lot of people that are going to try to beat Essential Quality out of the trifecta. And I have to be honest, I think it's likely that he will be in the trifecta, but I think he's going to be completely overbet. Forget about the Matrix Mac money. He should not be 5-2, 2-1 in a 20 horse field where he does not lay over the field. Excuse me. He does not lay over the field by the numbers at all. Barry O'Brien on the show tonight. Barry mentions that, do I have any concerns about Essential Quality bounces off tough efforts? Look, let me go back on screen because a few people have asked me about this. I just want to say in general, I don't believe in the bounce theory. There's one situation in particular that I've seen the most bounces from, and that is with 3-year-old fillies early in their career. 3-year-old fillies are very fragile. They're very temperamental. I've seen 3-year-old fillies between like January and let's say April or May have huge bounces up and down. I just am not a big fan of the bounce theory. I think there's reasons why horses don't run as well. I know for a fact, Barry, just to let you know, that Brad Cox did not want Essential Quality to have a very taxing effort last time in the Bluegrass. But really, how taxing was it? I mean, he sat a perfect trip on the outside. Yes, the stretch duel was an absolute war. So if you think that took something out of him, okay. But I just also want to say, if you like Highly Motivated, I mean, wasn't that a very demanding race? If you think Essential Quality is going to bounce, then I don't see how you can like Highly Motivated either. I just want to bring that handicapping point up to you. But in general, Barry, I don't think he's going to bounce. He's had a full month to rest. If he doesn't win, I don't think it's because of the bounce theory. I think it's because he's not going to get a good trip. He doesn't lay over the field. There's a lot of other good horses in this race, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel about that particular opinion. JS says, why is Essential Quality a must use? JS, because he's the best horse in the race. I mean, that's what I think. When I say he's a must use, I think if you're going to play a big horizontal bet and you're tossing Essential Quality, that's very risky. I know for me, I don't want to be live If Essential Quality wins, I would have cashed for $5,000, $6,000. For me, I would be very upset about that. So if you want to toss Essential Quality, I understand you're trying to get value. I'm going to try to get value, JS, in other races. And let me tell you something. This Derby undercard is unbelievable. There's huge fields everywhere. I think there's other places you can get prices in the sequence other than just the Kentucky Derby. So I'm definitely using Essential Quality. But again, he does not have to win at all. I would never, never put a win bet on Essential Quality at like 5-2. For me, he'd have to be, for me, and I'm not going to put a win bet on Essential Quality, but for me, he'd have to be 4-1, 9-2 for me to put a win bet on Essential Quality. And he's not going to be that. No way in hell is he going to be those prices. The next horse. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm really focusing in on this horse. I think, and I'll let you know Thursday, but I believe that this next horse is going to be my top pick for the Derby. I'm not sure yet, but I like a lot of things about the Doug O'Neill, Leandra Mora trained Hot Rod Charlie. Out of Preakness winner, he's by Preakness winner Oxbow, out of the very talented Indian Charlie. This horse has breeding to go long. And I really like the progression that we've seen from Hot Rod Charlie. You see earlier in the career, and Doug O'Neill said himself, they were just trying to figure him out. They thought maybe because of Indian Charlie, he might be a better sprinter. Remember, he ran that huge race, closing at almost 95-1 in the juvenile last year, just missing to Essential Quality. Then he came back in the Rob Lewis there, the Robert B. Lewis, and just missed a Medina Spirit while getting into some trouble in his first race as a 3-year-old. Then they decided to go to the fairgrounds in a very good field, and he basically wired the field with an excellent buyer of 99. Listen, he's faced pretty much every good horse in this Derby he has faced, in my opinion, other than Rock Your World. He's danced every dance. I like the spacing. I love the consistency. He can be close to the lead. He can sit off the lead. And the other thing about Hot Rod Charlie I like that I've noticed, he's not the biggest horse, but he looks very agile. He's athletic. He can get in and out of tight spots. He is not a plotter. I think he does have some acceleration. The blinkers, yes, Jeff, the blinkers mentioned the blinkers has helped. Absolutely. I think Hot Rod Charlie is very likely to be in the trifecta, which is why I'm most likely going to be keying him in my main trifecta play, which I'll talk more about that on Thursday. And you know what? Also, Hot Rod Charlie, I think you're going to get 8-10-1. If this horse is 10-1, you're going to see a nice win bet from me also on Hot Rod Charlie. I just like a lot of things about him. And again, I don't think he's going to be that low a price either. Again, Hot Rod Charlie. Flavian Pratt, by the way, is going to be riding Hot Rod Charlie. The next horse we're going to talk about. And I got to be honest, I don't understand the love for this horse right now. When I say the love, I've seen odds as low as like 15-1, 16-1. I don't get it. Superstock, the upset winner of the Arkansas Derby, beating a horse that I liked a lot in that race, Concert Tour. Superstock before his last race was just flat out slow. Very slow. He's bred nicely. He's dialed in out of a closing argument mare. Super girly. Has Steve Asmussen in his corner with Ricardo Santana. I don't have to tell you about that combination. I mean, probably the best trainer jockey combination out there right now. But this horse got an absolute dream, and I mean a dream trip last time in the Arkansas Derby. Listen, he ran well. He got a good ride. I'm not a big fan of that race. I think that race is slow. He only got a 92 buyer. I don't like super stock at all. I hope he takes a lot of money. I'm not using it in my try, my super. I'm not using him in any of my pick fours, pick fives. Super stock to me is just way too slow. I don't really understand some of the love that I've heard out there. If you like him, go for it. Good luck to you. I do not like him at all. The next horse, and this is a very polarizing horse in this race. Known Agenda, one of four horses for Todd Pletcher. He is bred nicely. He's by Curlin out of a European mare, Byron, and by Rama, who was a nice turf horse. Known Agenda, I know this horse very well. I've seen Known Agenda run literally almost every time in his career. And I got to be honest, I've really never been a big fan. The one thing that you have to give credit to Known Agenda for is he has a lot of mile and 1/8 races in his coffers. So you know that he's fit. But really, he ran third in the Remsen as a 2-year-old to Brooklyn Strong. He did lose his maiden race, his first out last year. He lost to Highly Motivated, you can see there. So he's obviously faced some pretty good horses, but he was very slow. Now, they put the blinkers on when they went to Gulfstream, and he broke his maiden by 11. But let me tell you something, folks. That maiden breaker, he faced absolutely nobody. That was a very weak maiden race. But look, he won by 11. Got to give him credit for that. But he got an 82 buyer, nothing special. I didn't love him in the Florida Derby, full disclosure. He ran very well. He got a very nice inside trip from IRAD. He made a nice move on the turn, and he went on and won the race. But who did he beat in this race? Again, who did he beat? Soup and Sandwich? Soup and Sandwich is not a threat, in my opinion, in the Derby. We're going to talk about him. The Florida. Let me put myself back on the Florida horses this year. Usually, Gulfstream is a great place to run your horses, and usually they have fantastic Derby preps. If any of you paid attention to Florida this winter, guys, the quality of racing for 3-year-old males down there, I'm sorry, was not very good. I was never a big Greatest Honor fan. I mean, listen, he closed, he won, didn't beat much. If you want to say Known Agenda beat a good field by beating Soup and Sandwich and Greatest Honor, I've got to completely respectfully disagree with you. Now, he is improving with blinkers. He's got an unbelievable trainer jockey combination in Irad and Todd Pletcher. I completely understand why some of you out there might like Known Agenda. But I did not like Known Agenda, and I told many people, so I'm going to stick by this. I did not like Known Agenda before the Derby draw today. And even though the one post is not as bad as it used to be now, that is still not the place you want to be. Known Agenda to me seems more of a plotter. I don't see the quick acceleration. I think Known Agenda can be a bigger factor in the Belmont. I don't like him at all. I'm probably going to put him in third. I'm definitely not going to put him in the first two slots. If he wins or comes in second, so be it. I will not have him first or second on my trifectas. And in my pick fours, fives, sixes, I'll probably use him as a C horse, as a very, very conservative saver, just in case. But he's also going to take a lot of money. I'm just not a fan. I understand why people would like him. I don't like Known Agenda. I see Khan is here on the show. I love Minestrone, Khan. Khan is saying, what if the soup is Khan, you crack me up. What if the soup is minestrone? I love minestrone. Oh, minestrone and like roast beef sandwich. Tasty. Real good. Maybe throw a little, pastrami on there or something. Fantastic. But anyway, I don't like soup and sandwich. Paul Halloran said with a reasonable post, Known Agenda was absolutely a win threat. Okay. Listen, Paul, that's what I love about these shows, right? We can agree to disagree. Even if he got a good post, I didn't like him on top. I know a lot of people do. We'll see. I could be absolutely wrong on Saturday. We're going to find out. That is my opinion, though, on Known Agenda. Let's get to some other horses here. A horse that obviously you just watched the clip, so you know how I feel. Rock Your World. John Sadler trained. This horse is undefeated, 3 for 3. He is by the excellent sire Candy Ride out of an Empire Maker mare, Charm the Maker, who had a very nice career on the turf. This horse is bred for turf. This horse is bred for dirt. Cost 650,000. I was not a big fan of his in the San Diego Derby. I was just trying to figure out when I was handicapping the San Diego Derby, this horse has never run on dirt. I questioned that. I thought he was facing a good field. He blew the doors off of everyone in the San Diego Derby. Now, if you want to knock the race because he said you can say okay he won on the lead and so that's why he got a big buyer. Folks, let me tell you something. I was very impressed with this horse visually in the San Diego Derby. Medina Spirit, and again, I'm not going to show replays tonight either. If you were not here on the show last night, if you want to watch replays, please go down below on my YouTube channel. I have many weekend recaps. I highly recommend you watch those weekend recaps. I showed replays of these races and I analyzed these races also. So I was a little bit surprised that Rock Your World won. He was a little bit goofy with his lead change. But listen, I love the way this horse strides out. He's got a big stride. These, supposed turf horses can win at Churchill Downs. I think the post was huge for him. I talked about it on Twitter. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. This horse needed an outside post, in my opinion, and he got it. I think he can stalk. I think he can go to the lead. I love his demeanor. I love everything about Rock Your World. I will say that obviously anything can happen in the Derby, and this horse does not have to finish in the money. I mean, if he doesn't break great, if he gets caught up in a speed duel, there's a lot of things that can happen. But I think Rock Your World is a very strong win contender in this race, and I'm very anxious to see what Rock Your World does on Saturday. I'm very anxious to see how he bets. Paul said he has no starts at age 2. Okay, Justify Paul won the Triple Crown without starting at age 2. Listen, the whole curse of Apollo thing, Paul, is done with. Horses, as you know very well. You know horseflesh very well. You understand horses. Ladies and gentlemen, horses are just trained differently now. I don't care that he didn't run at 2, but listen, Paul, he ran on New Year's Day, right? So if people are going to say that Rock Your World can't win, and Paul, I'm not saying that you're saying this, but people say that Rock Your World can't win because he didn't race when he was 2 years old. Listen, he raced the very first day that he turned 3 on his birthday. So if he raced on December 31st, instead of January 1st, he would have had a better chance to win on Saturday. That nonsense. Nonsense to me. The kickback question, Barry, is a very good, legitimate one. I actually sent a tweet out to John Sadler. I didn't get back. And if any of you have information that I don't have, I do not know if he's ever taken dirt. I've watched his works. Let me just mention a few things. I've watched Rock Your World's works very carefully in California. Not everyone can see these works. You have to have an account on XB or ExpressBet. So I've been able to see his works leading up to the Derby. He just let you know, folks, he has been working off of horses. They've been teaching this horse to rate and go by. Just let you know. And the other thing that I mentioned on yesterday's show, this horse has got some kind of like dominance to him. When he walked off the van arriving at Churchill Downs, and there's video out there you can find, he sort of looked around, gave this big like neigh sound really loud, and had that look like, I'm here. I'm dominant. I'm going to whip your ass. Who wants to face me? And then you saw the handler walk him into the shed row, and he was like looking around menacingly, like sort of, with his hoof moving up and down like the way Zenyatta did, like stalking his competition. I'm telling you, Rock Your World is one of those kind of dominant animals that to me looks like he just wants to beat you. He's only had 3 lifetime starts. I really like Rock Your World quite a bit in this race. I'm using him everywhere. Trifectas, he's an A horse for me. Blah blah blah. Again, uh, he doesn't have to win. He's got some things he's got to overcome. Um, JS mentioned that Colonel Liam was the best horse to come out of the Gulfstream meet. Hard for me to argue. I mean, he only ran in one race in the in that Gulfstream Park in the that $1 million turf race on the Pegasus Day. Colonel Liam, by the way, JS is running in the $1 million turf race on Saturday at Churchill. And let me tell you something. That $1 million turf race on Saturday at Churchill is loaded. I can't wait to talk about the Wednesday on Wednesday tomorrow and Thursday. I can't wait to talk about the undercard because the undercards on Oaks Day and Derby Day are absolutely fantastic. Dean G has joined the show. Dean said, how is highly motivated breeding for a mile and a quarter? Dean, I will get to that when we talk about highly motivated, but the quick answer is not good. Not good. Trish Smith. Trish, I saw you on the Matt Bernier show today with your picks. Good to see you. Trish wants some advice on future bets. Trish said, I made my first future Derby bet this year on Midnight Bourbon. Good luck with Midnight Bourbon, Trish. And then she made an exacta box with essential quality Mandaloon and Midnight Bourbon. Congratulations and good luck on those bets, Trish. Do I bet? I'm assuming you're asking if I bet on the future bets. And then she also said, different horses Derby Day or just leave it at future bets. Okay. So, Trish, let me ask you, those a lot of very good questions. Let me address your questions. First of all, I'm not a huge fan, and I'm sorry, I've been doing a lot of talking this week. And by the way, as I think a lot of you know, I am a full-time math teacher, so I've been doing. My voice is going to get a great workout this week. Trish, let me tell you, and those of you that watch this show, I'm very honest with my viewers. I'm not a big fan of future bets. There's so many things that can happen. I mean, look at what happened to Concert Tour. Concert Tour, I did make a bet on him in Pool 3. He was 16 to 1. 16 to 1 on Concert Tour before the Rebel. He drew off and won the Rebel. And before the Arkansas Derby, people were saying, like, this is going to be the co-favorite along with Essential Quality. I thought if he was going to run well in the Arkansas Derby, then he was going to be, 7 to 2, 3 to 1 in the Derby. And I bet him at 16 to 1. I was licking my chops. What happened? He ran a clunker. They decided not to go. I mean, we can talk about year after year, horses that were supposed to go in the Derby that didn't, Trish. They get injured. A lot of things happen. I'm not a big fan of making a bet on the Derby several months in advance. However, to answer your question, full disclosure, I'll be happy to share my tickets with you guys. Here's who I bet in the futures. I did a decent sized future on Concert Tour. I do have my largest bet in terms of the dollar amount. I do have Essential Quality at 5 to 1. I bet on him in Pool 3. I think it was Pool 4, which was in, I got a little of my ticket, I think early March. So early March, I bet Essential Quality. I got him at 5 to 1. So if Mattress Mac makes that big bet, I'm going to get good value. And the other horse that I put a future on is Mandaloon. I have a smaller bet on Mandaloon at, I believe, I have to look at my sheet, I think 16 to 1 I got him at. So I'll get a little bit of value on Mandaloon. But Trish, I don't do a lot of future bets. If any of you have some future bets out there that you want to share on the chat, feel free. Do you have any future bets that you made on the Derby? We'll believe you if you're going to be honest, hopefully, on there. Now, in terms of Trish is asking, do you hedge on your future bets? So, Trish, unless I had like a huge bet, like for example, let me just tell you. So, Matt Bernier had a big bet. I don't know how much it was. I would never ask him, but he had a big future bet on She Dares the Devil last year in the Kentucky Oaks. Um, I don't know if he hedged in the race or not. I usually don't hedge my bet unless I had a very big bet on a few horses as futures. I personally do not hedge. And again, Trish, if you're not familiar with hedging means, that means making a second bet to sort of nullify the first bet. So if the first bet doesn't win out, you have a great chance in cashing on the second bet. The problem with the Derby, Trish, is there's 20 horses. I don't really know how you can hedge on 16 or 17 other horses. So again, if you have an opinion out there on whether you like to hedge or not if you're alive. Now, I do like to hedge once in a while, Trish, in like pick fives. So, like for example, let's say I'm alive in a big pick five, several $1,000s, whatever, to 3 or 4 horses. I might put fairly sizable win bets on other horses I don't have, or maybe I'll play some doubles with horses I do have to horses I don't have. So I'm not completely against hedging in general. It's very situational. But in terms of your derby bet question, no. I would not hedge. I think it's really hard to do that, Trish. But good luck to you with your future bets in the Derby on Saturday. Paul agrees with me. 20 horse field. I just don't see how you can hedge. It's practically impossible, Trish. So I guess the general answer there is no. Don't hedge. All right. Let's get back to the other horses. Medina Spirit. I will be honest and tell me what you think about Medina Spirit. I've gone back and forth on Medina Spirit a lot in terms of how I feel about him. Let's talk about Medina Spirit. This is Bob Baffert's only horse in the Derby, which is surprising because I think he's won 6 Derbies. If he wins this Derby, I believe he'll tie the record for the most Derby wins, or maybe he'll break the record if someone knows that stat. I can't recall. I know he has 6, I think, and if he gets 7, he'll either tie or break the record. Again, if someone wants to let me know that stat. But anyway, Medina Spirit is a nice horse by Protonico out of a brilliant speed mare, Mongolian Changa. Um, he only cost 35,000. So Bob Belford has said from the start that this horse is an overachiever. He won his first start very well. He almost beat Life is Good in the Sham. That was an interesting race because Life is Good had a big lead and then started getting goofy in the stretch and looking around. And Medina Spirit closed and ran a big race in 99. I think that race really put him on the map. He then went to the uh, Robert B. Lewis and won very gamely in a neck where he was pushed early to 22-4 and 46 3 fractions. A very game effort. His last 2 races is where I start wondering whether I like him or not. He was nowhere to be found against Life is Good. Okay, Life is Good is an awesome horse. I guess he really can't take anything away there. But his last race, he lost legitimately to Rock Your World. Now, he was wide in that race in the San Diego Derby. He lost, I believe, 60 feet. He ran 60 more feet by Trackus, if I recall, in that race than Rock Your World. So he's a little bit wide. Here's my deal with Medina Spirit. He looks very one-paced to me. He's more of a plotter. He looks like he prefers to be on the lead. He has trouble passing horses. It just seems to me that Medina Spirit will need the lead in the Derby. I think there's a good chance, and I'll talk about this more on Thursday. I think there's a good chance that Mike Smith, by the way, is riding Medina Spirit. I got a feeling they're going to send this horse hard. If he gets the lead, can he overcome other speed, get the distance, etc.? Maybe. My final decision on Medina Spirit is I do not love him in this race on the win end. I'm going to use him in second. I'm going to use him in third. I don't know. He is not really getting faster. Is he going to appreciate the distance? We'll see. I think you can go either way with Medina Spirit. Sorry, Velasquez is riding him apparently. I thought it was Mike Smith. I guess I could be wrong about that. Mark is saying that Velasquez is riding him. Okay, I'd have to look that up again. Sorry if I'm incorrect. I thought it was Mike Smith. But anyway, so I think Medina Spirit's going to the lead. He can win. Again, I've gone back and forth on him. My final decision on him is I don't like Medina Spirit on top. It'll be interesting to see how he's bet. Okay, Johnny V apparently is on Medina Spirit. A lot of people think he's going to the top. We will talk about that on Thursday. Thank you, Mark. Mike Smith is on Midnight Bourbon, he said in the chat. Speaking of Midnight Bourbon, there he is, Midnight Bourbon. Another horse for Steve Asmussen. I have a very strong opinion, by the way, about Midnight Bourbon. And I'm going to tell you why here in just in a minute. A Midnight Bourbon, listen, can't really knock him, right? 7 lifetime starts, 7 times in the money. It took a little while. It broke his maiden second out. Uh, Lost to Sitting on Go in the Iroquois as a 2-year-old. Got the doors blown off him by Jackie's Warrior and Reinvestment Risk in the Champagne. He's done absolutely nothing wrong this year. He's by Tiz Now out of a Malibu Moon mare, Catch the Moon. So he's bred to run long. He won the Lecomte. He finished third to Mandaloon, and then he lost to Hot Rod Charlie in the Louisiana Derby. Here's the thing I've got with Midnight Bourbon. This is a big horse. Steve Asmussen said this is a very big, heavy horse. These Tiz Nows. There's Tiz Now, my second favorite horse of all time. If you listen to my favorite horses show, so you can't really knock that. Distance shouldn't be a problem. He's a big horse. Here's my deal with Midnight Bourbon, and I've watched his races very, very carefully. I know he's bred to go long. I'm not sure he wants this distance. I've watched every single race. He doesn't really pass horses, and it just seems like as the races go longer, he's losing lengths in deep stretch. Now, is it a maturity issue? Am I nitpicking? Listen, you have to nitpick, but I do not see explosive moves from him in the stretch. What was the excuse last time? He couldn't go by Hot Lot. He got a perfect trip. A perfect trip off of Hot Rod Charlie last time. Couldn't go by, actually lost lengths in the stretch, and Obesos was coming up on the inside, gaining ground on Midnight Bourbon. I mean, if he can't go by if he can't go by Hot Rod Charlie in the Louisiana Derby, getting a perfect trip, and now he's going to win the Kentucky Derby with more horses, better horses, more speed. I don't see it. I'm using Midnight Bourbon underneath. Again, when I say I don't see it, I don't like him on the win end. I'm using him in third. I might use him in second in the try. He just seems to be more of a plotter to me. I think he's got a great chance in the Belmont. I know what you're saying. How do you like him in the Belmont? It's a longer distance because he seems to be more of a plotter type. He just grinds and grinds, which is more of a style of the Belmont. I don't like him on the win end in the Derby. Jeff agrees. Mark agrees. Jared Bush, thanks for joining the show. Jared also agrees. So a lot of people are against Midnight Bourbon on this show. He's going to take some money. So that's very interesting that a lot of people agree with me on Midnight Bourbon. All right. We are almost finished for tonight's horses. Mandaloon. Mandaloon, owned by Juddmonte Farms, trained by Brad Cox, by Into Mischief, out of an Empire Maker mare, Brooch. There is a lot of things to like about Mandaloon. Mandaloon has been very steady and consistent, ran fantastically at Fairgrounds this spring, won the Risen Star like a good thing, and then the last race. And if you follow Matt Bernier, he's talked about Mandaloon a lot. He's one of, I think Mandaloon is Matt's top pick. The Louisiana Derby. Again, go watch the Louisiana Derby. Go watch the replays on my weekend recap shows. Mandaloon, he's sort of steady a little bit out of the gate and I think that lit him up a little bit. And then he was rushed up into a 3 wide trip and just didn't fire. Listen, these are animals. They are not machines. I'm tossing that race out completely. Mandaloon is absolutely a buzz horse this week at Churchill Downs and late last week. He's been working unbelievably. He looks great on the track. He's got the breeding. He's run a big number. Mandaloon is an absolute A horse for me in the horizontals. He's an absolute use. I like him a lot. I think he is going to get bet down. I'm not keying in my tries only because he has shown a bit of inconsistency. That is my only concern. He's been a bit inconsistent, and I'm worried with a big crowd, and he likes to be up close. If he gets caught up in a speed duel or he gets lit up again, I don't fully trust Mandaloon, but I think he's very interesting. I'm using him as an A in this race. I don't think you can go wrong. Florent Giroux stays on Mandaloun. Brad Cox looking for his first Derby win. And boy, he's got this horse. He's got essential quality. I mean, he's got a big shot to win this Kentucky Derby. Mark, going on a limb in the chat, does not like him. Listen, there's varying opinions in this race, guys. You can go a lot of different ways. I know Cox said that he doesn't know what happened to Mandaloun last time. Listen, guys, again, these are living, breathing animals. They have off days. I think the start didn't help Mandaloun in the Louisiana Derby. I like him a lot in this race. I think he can easily bounce back in this race. Matt Bernier has joined the show. I don't know if that's correct. Matt Bernier in the chat. If that's correct, Matt, I see Matt Bernier supposedly is in the chat. And if Matt, if you're in the chat, thank you so much for joining the show. What an honor. Matt says in the chat, my son Mandaloun. So, Matt, if you're in the chat right now, if you wanted to make another comment, just I'm assuming this is you, unless someone is just acting as you. I'm not sure. There's a picture of you up on there. So, Matt, if you're in the chat watching the video, thank you so much for joining my show. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, unless someone's just pulling my leg. I don't know. But apparently Matt has put himself, or someone claiming to be Matt, has put himself in the chat tonight. Matt, send me out a direct message through Twitter if you went on my show tonight. And if you are on the show right now, Matt, listening, I'd love to get you on our show. Come on, people. If this is actually Matt, he's tweeting again. People that are watching the show tonight, right now, who would like to see Matt Bernier live with me on the show? I need to work out some technological logistics, Matt. But again, thanks for joining the chat. If you'd like to see Matt as a guest on my show, we can do a little reversal of fortune there. I've been lucky enough to be on Matt's and honored to be on Matt's show 3 times as a guest for his Friday feature. Matt, if you're out there, I'd like to return the favor, invite you onto my show as I already have. We can work out the logistics, but wow, I am famous, folks. I have made it. Hold on a second. I've got to put myself on camera. This is a big deal. Folks, I've made the big time. Someone famous is on the chat. Thank you, Lord. Matt, thanks a lot. Matt, what happened to my video? Do you know what happened? I don't know. I mentioned it. You mentioned my name on the on the show, but then my video clip didn't come up. No big deal. I'm sure it was just an oversight. I had a little fun poking fun of you on the show earlier that I was getting no love by my name, and then I got dissed on your show. But anyway, Matt Bernier, thank you very much for joining Howard's Horse Handicapping tonight. So let's go ahead. Wow, now I feel extra pressure to make sure I'm producing good content here. Let's move on. We are almost finished with our horses tonight. Highly motivated. Highly motivated, I, again, have a very strong opinion on highly motivated. And let me talk to you about this horse. Trained by Chad Brown. This horse has been in the money 5 for 5. He's bred by Into Mischief out of a Warriors Reward mare, strong incentive. This horse is very talented. So before I get hate mail and before I get comments on Twitter, highly motivated. If you want to just talk about pure talent, okay, just pure talent alone, I think highly motivated is one of the most talented horses in this race. That being said, I hate, I hate highly motivated on top in this race. I do not like him at all in this race. And I've talked to people on this show, you know, you have to take stands. You need to take stands in life, you got to take stands in your bets, and you have to take stands in the Kentucky Derby. I do not like highly motivated. I'm going to give you some opinions why. First of all, he's run very well in almost all of his starts. You can't knock that. He broke his maiden second time out. He ran in a restricted race. I remember it very well. He ran on Breeders' Cup Day last fall in the Nyquist and blew the doors off the field. Ran a big buyer, got a 96. By the way, Matt, if you guys, those of you watching this show later, Matt Bernier said he will definitely, I've got him on record, Matt Bernier will definitely come on at some point. I really hope it is Matt. Why do I have a feeling someone is just pranking me? I don't know. Matt, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm just surprised that you're on the live stream tonight. But anyway, Matt has said that he will definitely come on at some point. So, guys, we're going to hold him to that once I get the technology worked out where I can do like a picture in picture and whatnot. And Matt, by the way, I'd love to talk to you and producer Craig because I need some help with software on how to get that picture in picture and some other things. So, Matt, I'll be contacting you through Twitter or email or possibly by phone next week once this Derby craziness is over. But anyway, highly motivated, ran very well on Breeders' Cup Day in the fall. Then this year, he ran to the Gotham. Now, he had some trouble in the Gotham. He steadied at the start. He still ran on to finish third, but obviously take a little bit of a step back. And he was 95 cents to the dollar favorite in that race. Then the Bluegrass. This is the race that I want to talk about a lot because I think the Bluegrass is the race where you can go either way with highly motivated. Here's my opinion of the Bluegrass, all right? I didn't think highly motivated, first of all, was going to get the distance. Someone asked earlier in the chat, can highly motivated get the distance? On the dam side, again, he's by Warriors Reward out of, he's out of a Warriors Reward mare strong incentive. He is not bred to go long on the dam side, okay? On the male side, good breeding, Into Mischief. He is not bred to go long on the dam side. I didn't like him to win the race in the Bluegrass. He got a very easy lead, going fractions of 48 and 1, 112. He got the perfect setup, yet he had essential quality, breathing on him. He was very game in the stretch. But Matt, if you're still on the show, you know this, Matt, and I fully believe in this. He did switch leads late in stretch, which usually is a sign that he was getting tired. Now, if you want to say that he just needed the two-turn experience and that's why he switched leads late, I don't like the swapping leads late. I don't think this horse wants any part of a mile a quarter at all. Not even a little bit. There's other speed in this race. And I don't think highly motivated is going to have the lead in this race. I don't think he wants to go long. He got a big buyer of 97. Everyone sees that. And he's like, well, listen, if he almost beat Essential Quality, why isn't he a player in this race? I'll tell you why. He got a dream setup in the Bluegrass. Again, an easy lead. He's not going to get in the Derby. He's not bred to go long. And he's bet a lot. I might use highly motivated in third. Maybe. He is going to be nowhere in my horizontal bets, pick fours, pick fives. I feel very strongly about the chances of highly motivated. I don't like him at all. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. If he wins, I lose. But I will say this in closing. I hope they point highly motivated to the Woody Stevens, uh, which to the Allen Jerkins, which used to be called the King's Bishop. I think this horse is one of the most talented 3-year-olds in the country. I love this horse going like 7 furlongs, 1 mile. He's extremely talented. He is absolutely a huge play against for me in this year's Kentucky Derby. A few other comments. We've got um, Matt just mentioned one more time. He's burning the midnight oil. Good luck. Keep up the good work. Matt, thanks again. I know you're not on anymore. Wow. Guys, HHH has made it big time with Matt Bernier joining our chat tonight. Jeff said he's bred from mile and mile 16th. I agree. Mark said Chad is not sending this horse. I agree with you, Mark. He's going to sit off the pace, but I just don't like him at the distance. Let's see. Jared said Rock Your World can't lead or pass. He's a toss. So Jared is tossing Rock Your World. Jared, listen, I am not going to criticize what you or anyone else feels about this Derby race. I'm just giving you my opinions. There are a lot of very smart people out there. Again, this show is about giving information. I've had a lot of success in the past. Does not mean I'm going to be correct on Saturday. I'm not arrogant enough to think anything else other than I hope my personal opinions are correct, but I could be wrong on Saturday for sure. Jared said, "So you feel he's going to bounce?" Jared, I'm assuming that was a joke. No, again, it's not the bounce; it's the distance. Again, the three things. I don't think he'll like the distance. He's going to get overbet because of the last race, and there's just a lot of good quality horses in this race, and I don't like the price I'm getting on him. Dean said it's Godolphin's year. It might very well maybe. Just going down the page, we've got Soup and Sandwich we need to talk about. I'm getting up to an hour right now, and it is getting late, but we still have a lot of people watching, so thanks again. Soup and Sandwich for Mark Cassie, a Florida bred by Into Mischief out of a Tappet Mare Super Scoop. 3 for 3 in the money. Finished second in the Florida Derby to No Agenda for Live Oak Plantation Farms. Soup and Sandwich, I think, got the 19 hole. Anyone tell me if that's correct? I'm going off of memory. I think it's Soup and Sandwich is the 19 hole. This horse in the morning has been a little bit geeked up. He's been a little bit excitable. I have a feeling when he hears that crowd, just the outside of him, I think he's going to be revved up. I think Soup and Sandwich is going. I would not be shocked if Soup and Sandwich guns and gets the lead. I have a feeling if this thing heats up, if the pace heats up, I think Soup and Sandwich would be one of the reasons why this pace really heats up. I do not like him at all in this spot. This is a very tough spot, obviously. I don't think he's fast enough. I don't think he's mature enough. I think the only factor that Soup and Sandwich is going to have in this race is as a pace factor. I'm not using him anywhere in tries, pick fours, pick fives at all. The one thing I do like about Soup and Sandwich, what a great food combination. Love Soup and I mean, is there anyone out there that doesn't like Soup and Sandwich? Love Soup and Sandwich. And by the way, this horse is going to take more money than he should because of the name. I guarantee it. In fact, everyone that works or lives by a delicatessen is going to be betting Soup and Sandwich in this race. I think he's going to be overbet just because of the name. I don't like Soup and Sandwich. I think he's only a pace factor in this race. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I think, and again, I apologize. Just want to go through. I think that's every horse. I believe that's every horse. I don't think I've missed anyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are my opinions of the top 10 Derby horses that are going to be running. Now, we still have a lot of things to talk about this week. Again, let me just show you very briefly the promo so you know what's going on now on the HHH live streams. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, a deep dive into Kentucky Oaks Day this Friday. We'll talk about betting strategy. I already have my late pick 5 picked out. I've got some longer shots that I like, some very interesting price horses for Friday. And then on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will preview the Kentucky Derby, 2-day pick 6, late pick 5, details on my opinions of the Derby itself, how I'm constructing my trifecta tickets, caveman, everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss the next two. Who knows who's going to pop in? Maybe we'll get a little JK sighting. You think Jonathan Kitchen might join the show? Listen, I'm gonna put the word out. I've got Jonathan Kitchen on speed dial. I've got his number. I'm gonna see if he'll join at least the chat. Maybe Peter Thomas Fornatel. Maybe we'll get some Listen, again, I want to thank Matt Bernier quite a bit. That was a huge surprise. I really am. Thanks, Matt, for coming on and chatting. In the chat here on the live stream. You do not want to miss the next 2 nights. I have spent hours and hours and hours getting ready for my shows tomorrow and Thursday. I really hope you're going to join me for some great information. Thanks again for watching. Please make sure you subscribe there on the left side of the screen. I hope to see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. This has been Howard Kravitz for Howard's Horse Handicapping. I hope to see you tomorrow night. Thanks, everyone. Good night.